what's your background with juvenile justice system?
Well, I've been doing this for 36 years. I guess that's a background. I do have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and prior to that I received a degree in sociology.
And what do you think leads juveniles to commit crime?
Well, human behavior is probably a number of different things and a permutation of a lot of different things. A lot of the kids that I've worked with are really struggling with their relationships with their parents. There tends to be, one or both the parents that child is just really has issues with, and they are not gonna change. They're focused on changing their parents' behavior, and so whatever they have to do to get that parent's attention. So I think part of that is just the individuation, growing into an adulthood. It's hard for some kids to realize that their parents are human beings and flawed human beings, and they want them to be parents, good parents, perfect parents, and until they get that, they're not going to behave. Other kids are just, they're growing up, they want to be independent, they, peers, that's a big factor. They want to do something else with their friends, they don't want to follow their parents' rules. And then sometimes there's, kind of personal, psychological, mental health issues that are going on with the kid that just really makes it difficult for them to maneuver in life.
All right. And then how specifically does the transfer system work? How does the juvenile end up being tried as an adult?
There's a number of different things. It's fairly nuanced and fairly complex in Texas law. And I think the law is well written. For certain felony offenses, a child can be certified, and they're going to look at the law says in order for the judge to certify a child to stand trial as an adult, they have to look at the likelihood of rehabilitation, they have to look at the danger to the public, they have to look at was this a crime against a person or the public. All those are written out in the family code, and everybody kind of is looking at the same game plan on should this child, the sophistication, maturity, should this child be sent to the adult court.
Certain crimes?
For, I believe so. I think it's felony crimes. For juveniles that are younger, in other words, they would look at someone like that, and maybe, typically it would be someone that's 16, even 17. Like if you're 16 and your case doesn't come before the court, like it was the day before your 17th birthday, you're going to be, your case is going to start in the juvenile system. And the court might look at that case and say, well, there's no time to rehabilitate, there's no time to address this issue, we're going to go ahead and certify. For kids that are younger, there's something called a determinate sentence, and that would involve a sentence in the adult system up to 40 years, but that never gets transferred until that child, let's say it was a 14-year-old, that case doesn't get transferred until that child turns 17. Then the court goes back to court, and they review the case again and just makes a decision whether they go over to the adult system.
All right. And what would you say are the most common types of crime?
Most common crimes in Denton County would be thefts, assaults, and runaways.
Okay. And do you think the juvenile system is helping decrease crime rate?
Most of the kids that get arrested don't get referred back again. And there's a saying, success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. I don't really think that, we can say, oh, well, yeah, we turned that kid around. The chances are that that kid was probably just learned that lesson just from that case alone. They're not going to come back here. It's that, 40% of those kids that come back, those are the ones that, we really spend most of our time working with them. And of that group, there's another smaller percentage that seems bound and determined to, go all the way to reform school, or TJJD as it's called in Texas. But we do make an impact, and it's nice to, when the kids come back, oftentimes they'll come back, or you'll see them out in the community and they'll tell you how they're doing, that they're doing well. Some of it's a long trip before they turn things around. And
what improvements do you think can be made?
What improvements? That is a difficult question. Well, one of the things they're looking at right now is moving the juvenile age up to include 17-year-olds, and that's, the legislators are really going to look at that. On the one hand, there's the maturity of a kid. Are they really mature enough? Are we protecting the public then if we move that age up? A juvenile system it's a civil system, so it's not going to take away your rights to vote and get a job, that kind of thing, because it's not a conviction like it is in the adult system. So some people are wanting to, move that 17-year-old group into the juvenile system. So, young people that have felony offenses, they'll still be able to get a job and, be productive in life. I tend to prefer, leaving those decisions in the hands of the court, with some guidelines, but rather than to make a blanket legislative decision, like we were just talking about in the juvenile system, for certain crimes, certain situations, you can certify a child as an adult, or you can move them into the adult system, at an age appropriate time, but you're still protecting the community, and the judge can look at that case and make that decision rather than I don't like the idea of tying judges' hands and then they can't, actually make a good decision for a kid. So you could reverse that case where, 17-year-olds can petition the court to have their cases kept or moved to the juvenile system. So that's one of the ideas. Not a very popular one, but it's kind of one that I think should be looked at, because I think a nuanced system is a better system to go by rather than just one size fits all.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.